we're going to be learning today is how to navigate the refreshed SEBB Benefits Administrator website. And so know that I don't expect you all to come out of this as experts, knowing where everything is on the web page. It's the same pages that were there before the refresh. So that's something at least that's helpful to know. There's not a ton of new content at the moment to have to navigate through. But I'm hoping that after this, you'll at least have some ideas of why things are placed where they're at, where you can go to find information, especially as we continue developing the website and adding more content to it. A little bit about what you'll learn today. So again, like I mentioned, navigating the website. Also, what's new on the website? What is going to be unfamiliar that you wouldn't have seen before the refresh? Where can you find your commonly visited resources? We have this tool that we can go to that tells us what is clicked on the most, which pages are visited most often. And so I'll be touching on those resources. But if there's something that you actually visit quite often that I don't address, let me know and we can talk about where that's located. Also, as I go through the web pages, I'll be talking about what's next. What are we going to be changing? What can you look forward to in the coming months as we develop the web pages? So all of these things I'll be covering as we go through rather than in order of how they're laid out on the slide. This is just a snapshot of what the website looked like beforehand to give you an idea in case anybody here is unfamiliar with which web page, what website, however you want to refer to it, specifically that we're talking about. So this was the SEBB Benefits Administrator webpage. This is how it looked before and what you're more likely familiar with. And it's pretty similar. All the same pages are still going to be there. It just has a different look and a different way of navigating it. So that was the end of the slides. This is the new web link. There's actually a longer version. This is the nice short version that will redirect you to the SEBB BA webpage. So you're more than welcome at this point. If you want to copy this link down, I highly suggest saving it to your favorites in your browser. Or if you would like to, you're more than welcome to follow along, but know that there's no requirement to follow along. I know for some people that can be really helpful to do. And for others, it's more beneficial just to watch as I go through and discuss that with you. So at your own, pace, you do whatever you would like to do with that, whether you want to follow along or not. Just know that I won't be pausing to ensure that everybody's up to speed with me. So keeping that in mind. Okay, so hopefully you've all got that web link down if you need it now. I'm just going to find my web browser. Here we are. So you'll notice at the top in the web address, it actually says SEBB Benefits Administrators in the web address. And the one that I gave you a moment ago was the shortened version. Both of them will get you there. So I'm actually going to show you that. I'll type in BA at the end of that web address, hit enter, and it brings us right back to the same web page. So it's just nice to know that there's a shortened link. It's got the same title, the SEBB Benefits Administrators here. And one thing that I really want to point out that we're going to talk a lot about are the breadcrumbs. And I like calling them breadcrumbs because in a way they help you find your way home. It's kind of like Hansel and Gretel is what it reminds me of. But what's really important about the breadcrumbs, and you can see right now, the only one highlighted that I could click on to get back to says home. So we're on the SEBB Benefits Administrators landing page or home page, if you will, right now. But if I were to click on home from this page, which I'm doing now, it's going to take me to the Healthcare Authority's homepage. So technically, the Healthcare Authority's website is our website. The SEBB Benefits Administrators is a web page with other pages that fall under it. And so that's why home will always lead you back to the Healthcare Authority's webpage. It's nice in a way because it's another way to get to the employee and retiree benefits section, which is where you can go to learn about SEBB benefits. But what's not so nice about it, what you might find not super friendly anyways, is that there's no link here to get you back to the SEBB Benefits Administrator page. And that's by design. That's so that employees don't accidentally or inadvertently end up on the SEBB BA page looking for information for themselves, because that information is geared toward you all as BAs or benefits administrators. So if you were to click on home and you end up here, you will need to go back up if you've got your favorites saved or type in your web address. I've got my favorites here. And put that link back in the address to navigate back to this page. This is technically our home or landing page, as I'll refer to it moving forward. Another thing I want to point out that you see here is a menu at the top of the page. So more than likely, if you access any of these resources, it's going to be the employee and retiree benefits section. I'm going to click on that and you'll see a drop down. School employees is the second one, then retirees. So that's the SEBB retiree insurance, and then SEBB continuation coverage off to the right-hand side. So if we were to click on any one of these, a larger menu is going to drop down. This menu is great because it gives us a bit of an overlook of everything that's on the school employees webpage or the retirees webpage and so on. So I can see here that there's medical plans and benefits. There's a section for am I eligible, but know that this is actually for employees. These are not benefits administrator resources. So if we're using this menu up top, it's actually going to take us away from the benefits administrator website if we click on anything. So here's an example, medical plans and benefits under school employees. I'm going to click on that. And now I can see in my breadcrumbs, which are really helpful, that I've left the SEBB Benefits Administrators webpage because now I'm on the Employee and Retiree Benefits webpage. So if you're ever unsure, if you clicked on something or, I'm not sure if I'm still on the SEBB page, use those breadcrumbs. They can really help you. But it's great that you can get to that SEBB Employees page, but knowing that in order to get back, you always have your back button, or I tend to go straight from my favorites to navigate back to the page I want. So that's just a bit of a disclaimer about this. Now, this menu is across the top of every single one of our pages. But moving forward, the web team is actually going to build us a special menu just for us, just for you, so that benefits administrators, outreach and training, so that we're not also accessing the free or low-cost healthcare billers and providers. Those are other programs administered by the Healthcare Authority, and so they're going to create one just for us. And there's another thing that I'll mention in the menu too later on that will be helpful to know. But we'll cover that one once I get down toward the bottom of the screen. So moving down this page, we've got what I call promotional links or like hot topics, highlights, just kind of whatever you're comfortable with thinking of them as. The first one is eligibility worksheets. That's where you're going to find all of the eligibility worksheets for you to determine eligibility for employees or whether they're losing eligibility or to provide that notification that's required to give them when you're making that determination. There's notices and updates. Anytime we send out a notice via email through the GovDelivery system, we post it to notices and updates. So you can actually go to that page to register for GovDelivery if you're not receiving those notices, or you can go there to access those previous notices that we've sent out. And we've got a link for HCA support. Currently, it does say Fuse replacement on there. If you're not familiar with Fuse, that was sort of a brand name of the previous secure messaging system that we were using. And we've recently replaced Fuse with HCA support. So for those who are very familiar with Fuse, we wanted to make sure that the two were connected for a while. And here in a couple of months, once HCA support is nice and established, you'll see that Fuse replacement language fall off and it'll just have HCA support. Once again, moving down the webpage, we've got 5 main sections on the SEBB webpage. That's eligibility is the first one, enrollment, SEBB benefits, administrative tools and resources, and then training resources. And under each one of these is a introduction, if you will, of the type of material you either can now or will eventually be able to find under those sections. So like I said before, and we'll click on every single one of these and take a look at what's there right now. But the pages that we have on the SEBB website are very similar or the exact same as the pages that were there just a few days ago. So what we had to do was organize them into sections that make sense for the type of material that we're going to be adding in the future. So we will touch more on those 5 sections here in a little bit, but I wanted to introduce you to the How Do I section. There was a How Do I on the previous SEBB Benefits Administrator website. This one will link you to forms and publications, finding the SEBB program rates, HCA support, finding manuals, and rules and policies, and learning about the SEBB board. These 2 at the end, the rules and policies and learning about the SEBB board, will take you to other HCA related pages. So keep in mind that there are resources and links on here that may take you away from the SEBB BA page. But if you've got that favorite saved, or you have that web address memorized, or you can hit your back button, then you should be good to go. Just take a look at those breadcrumbs. They'll always let you know where you're going to be at. Now, this is a big change. The menu that used to be at the top of the SEBB BA website is now at the bottom, and it's only on this first landing page. You will not see this blue bar on any of the other pages once you start clicking and navigating through the website. So there's forms and publications, another link for notices and updates, a link for SEBB My Account, HCA support, and then contact us. And so this is what I mentioned earlier that I wanted to address, because there's also a contact us up here in the mega menu. Oops. Sorry, it's just a menu. Internally, the web team refers to it as a mega menu. I've been trying to get away from that language. So if you were to click on contact up in the top menu, that's just overarching contact information that's healthcare authority related. That's not going to be for benefits administrators specifically. Your contact information to get a hold of outreach and training for support and assistance is down below where it says contact us. So I'll just click on that and show you that one way that I've mentioned a couple of times to make sure you're still on the SEBB Benefits Administrator website is to look up at those breadcrumbs. So it tells us we're on the Contact Us page and we're still on the SEBB BA landing page or website or however you'd like to refer to it. And then there's the contact resources there for you. I'm going to use those breadcrumbs to head back to the SEBB BA page. And then the next thing we would do is delve into each of the 5 sections. The first section is for eligibility. So to navigate to that eligibility section, you would just click on the button down below that says Learn About Eligibility and Find Resources. So it does, like I said, give you a bit of an intro, lets you know what you either can now or will eventually be able to find in this section. And so it says eligibility worksheets and other resources you need to determine employee and dependent eligibility. So selecting that section to open it up, we've got a similar introduction at the top, a button for SEBB My Account, and you'll see this button for SEBB My Account and an intro on every single one of these 5 sections when you visit them. Another set of those promotional links, the big purple ones, and know that these may change. You know, if something big comes up related to eligibility, we might post that here. Same thing on the main SEBB BA page. So when open enrollment comes around, we might be posting that on the main page too, so that you can easily navigate to those resources, or just to give you a heads up that that kind of thing is coming around. All right, so on the eligibility section, I mentioned the promos. On this one, we happen to have linked training materials, finding guidance for the appeals process, and HCA support. And there is one section currently. You can look forward to this growing and there eventually being more than just the one section. Under eligibility resources, we've got the eligibility tools and worksheets. Again, that's where you're going to find all of your worksheets to help determine eligibility and provide that notification. The newly eligible employees page, a page on dependents and dependent eligibility, page on separation, terminating employment, benefits ending, that sort of thing, and then a link for the continuation coverage page. Also under this section is a separate How Do I and a related link section at the very bottom. So what we've done with the related links, because if you notice, There's no other links to get you to the other 5 sections from here. You would almost have to go all the way back to the SEBB Benefits Administrator page in order to get to the other 5 or 4 sections, I guess. So what we've done is we've linked them in the related links. So in the related links section, we've got enrollment, SEBB benefits, administrative tools and resources, and training resources linked. I'm going to navigate back to the SEBB Benefits Administrators landing page and address a few of these questions. If there's anything related to the eligibility page, let me know. All right, so the first one was about the Contact Us. So scrolling down, as a reminder, the Contact Us link is at the bottom of the home page. This is where you can find contact information for you as benefits administrators. There is a link for HCA support. Under the HCA support heading, there's also a user guide for HCA support. And there is a link to send us a secure message. These are all links to HCA support. That's going to be the only secure system that we're using for you to send us messages and for us to respond to you. The current URLs, the previous URLs should be redirecting you to the current URLs. And the idea is to give you time to navigate through the page in order to find those links if they will have changed. Eventually, those redirects might be taken down. So for now, I think they said they were going to leave them up for about a year. So you shouldn't have any issues. If you do, definitely send us a message through HCA support and let us know and we can find that link for you. But they've created all of these redirects. Now they're still working on them. Some of them for some of the pages. So give them until about mid next week if you are experiencing anything that still appears to be broken, because I know that they're still working through those. A question about this phone number. So employees should not be coming to the SEBB Benefits Administrators page. The only way to get to this page is if you actually have the direct link, which is the SEBB-Benefits Admins, or going to open this up into a new window, SEBB-Benefits Administrators, or again, you can get there with SEBB-BA. There is no way for an employee to get to this page from the SEBB employee's website. So unless they've been provided the link or they search something specific for benefits administrators, if they were to accidentally land on the Contact Us page and they were to call the phone number for outreach and training, they would be redirected back to you. The information on the webpage that I'm showing you now is only for you as benefits administrators. Employees should still not be contacting outreach and training directly. They should come to you, and then you come to outreach and training with the questions that you're unable to answer. Absolutely, April. I can show you. The question is, show us where to order enrollment guidebooks and enrollment forms. Okay. So headed back to the SEBB Benefits Administrators landing page, homepage, again, whatever you'd like to call it. If we were to head down to the very bottom on that menu bar, again, this menu bar is only available on the homepage. You can go to Forms and Publications. So I'm going to select that. And this is where you can download all of the forms, publications that we have listed here. You can also find additional forms and publications on the SEBB employee site. And then to order, we have this blue box with a button in it that you can click on to go and order materials from the Forms and Publications page. Using my breadcrumbs to get back to the landing page here. The next section is for enrollment. So scrolling down, we talked a little bit about eligibility. So under the enrollment section, you'll notice that in the introduction, it says find resources you need to process employee enrollment and appeals and correct enrollment errors. So I had mentioned this before. If you're just coming in, know that the web page has been built for the information we have today, as well as the information that will be placed in the future. So I'm going to select this enrollment section. Again, you have the introduction at the top, the link directly to SEBB My Account, the promotional links, and then right now there's one section, like on the last one, and currently there's the appeals process page. So under this overarching topic, that is the only page that fits for now. eventually there will be other pages added here, so you can come back and visit and you'll start seeing things being added. And again, the How Do I section, and you'll notice there is also a link in many of the How Do I sections for forms and publications too, so you don't always have to navigate back to that landing page to get there. In the related links section, there's again the links to the other 4 sections of the SEBB website, so the main 5 sections from that landing page. Headed back through those breadcrumbs to get to that landing page. The third one down is SEBB Benefits. So thinking of benefits, anything related to that would be placed under this section. Again, our intro, our common different links there that are similar to the other pages, and then a section for exploring benefits. So all of the benefit related web pages that we currently have are posted under this section. And again, there's the How Do I and the related links as well to help you navigate through the other sections available. Using those breadcrumbs to get me back to that landing page. Now, administrative tools and resources. This is a pretty good one to familiarize yourself with. This is where you're going to find those accounting manuals, the SEBB My Account manuals, and information like that that's more along the administrative side. So if those were resources that you accessed quite a bit before, this is where you're going to find them. So selecting the Find Tools and Resources button directly below. Again, top of the page looks very similar. Our intro, our links, and then our section here in the middle containing the web pages that fall under the Administrative Tools and Resources section. So there's quick reference guides. That was a big one. A lot of people access that. Still got the same content on it that it had before. There's the manuals with the SEBB My Account manuals and things like that on there. The SEBB program rates are under the rates information link. Medicare secondary payer, you may or may not be familiar with that one. It was a little bit buried in the previous website. And then your FAQs. So you can go there to search for commonly asked questions. And again, the same type of sections down below. Okay. Headed back to the SEBB Benefits Administrators landing page and looking at that final section is the Training Resources section. So again, it gives you the little tidbit about what you're going to be finding here. And then the Get the Training that you need as a benefits administrator would be the button. So directly below that section that we're going to select. Same type of information, intro, a button for SEBB My Account, your resources at the top. What we've tried to do is place resources you might come looking for or that may be commonly accessed. And then the section in the middle with the actual pages, the training schedule and training materials. So the training schedule page is where you would come to register for trainings, find upcoming trainings, things like that. And then training materials is where trainings such as this one will be recorded and then posted later on. Something I do want to mention about the training schedule page, I'm going to select it and open that page up. As I scroll down here, we've got our upcoming trainings. So you'll notice there's the location, the title, the date. It looks very similar to what it did before, but they all say that they're full right now. So none of them are in fact full. They're actually all available. It's just the development that the web team is working on. We are working on getting an actual estimate of when that can be completed, which we should have sometime tomorrow. So if we don't get this resolved within another day or two, we will be sending out a Gov delivery with all of the registration links. So know that that is something that we're aware of. If you are in a, if it's urgent for you that you really feel you need to go ahead and register, send us a link or a question through HC support and we'll send you the registration link so that you can go ahead and get registered while you're thinking about it. Otherwise, I would check back mid next week, late next week, and you should be able to click on these registration links. And while we're here, we are doing in-person pre-open enrollment trainings. So I know that we may not have ever experienced that with you all as the SEBB population with COVID hitting so soon after the implementation of this program. So looking forward to being able to provide that training. And I'm sure our SEBB team is looking forward to meeting you all face to face, giving you some information in advance to help you out through that time. If you can't make it to any of the in-person trainings, we also have the pre-open enrollment webinar you'll be able to register for if you haven't already. And then there's the FSA DCAP OE training coming up. So again, I would visit the page mid next week, late next week, and then these should be resolved where you can click on there and register. We also have another training exactly like this one occurring tomorrow too. So if you have anybody who would benefit from coming in and just having this walkthrough of the website, they can definitely shoot us a message through HCA support and we can give them the link to register. Now using those breadcrumbs to help me get back to the SEBB page. So that's it. Everything is at a 1 or 2 click level. Nothing's really buried underneath other pages. And something to just help as you move through this information is to think, okay, well, if I'm looking for manuals, you know, where might I find that? And then to read these introductions, that might help as well, because they give you a little bit of an insight on what you're going to find there. And like I said, some of them, it's what you're going to find future state rather than what's actually there right now. But all of the resources that were there previously are still here for you. So coming back to that contact us page, I just wanted to mention that at the bottom of the page under HCA support, our phone number for you to reach out to, fax, mailing address, and so on is a website feedback. So I mentioned earlier that if you run into anything wonky, you notice something not working, which I've gotten a couple of comments already. So thank you for that. I will submit those to the web team for correction. You can definitely come here and either click on feedback or just go straight to HCA support. That's where the link's going to take you. And you can let us know if you find something so that we can go ahead and get it corrected. Yeah, I can do that. So the question, can you click on SEBB My Account so we can see what it looks like? I'm going to go back to that because it's not here. So I'll go back to the SEBB Benefits Administrators landing page. And then it's listed under any one of these sections under eligibility, enrollment, but it's also down here at the bottom, SEBB My Account in that blue menu bar. So I'll click on that. And it takes you to SEBB My Account. So this is the same SEBB My Account that was there before. We've just plugged the link into that new SEBBA landing page. All right, so I'll hit the back button to head back to the SEBBA page. And that was it. Pretty basic walkthrough to introduce you to what's there and to let you know that the same pages are there. If you don't have any questions, or if you do have questions, I can stick around. This one went a little bit quicker than earlier, so we've got plenty of time if there's anything related to the webpage, any questions you might have. If you do want to go, feel free to do so. There's going to be a survey that pops up at the end. If you have the time, please do answer those questions. We appreciate the feedback. We are taking that, reviewing it, and trying to do what we can with it. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Like I said, I will stick around to answer questions. The question is, what is the login at the top of the screen? So this is just on the basic SEBBA landing page, but that information is going to be on top of all of the Healthcare Authority related web pages. So if I click on that, it is going to be Apple Health. There's PEB and SEBB My Account, Provider One, HCA employees, and remote access for vendors. So it's all of the Healthcare Authority related accounts that can be logged into. I see several of you still headed out. So again, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will stick around if you have any additional questions that pop up, or if you'd like for me to show you where anything is, anything that you accessed before, you might be wondering where it's at. Otherwise, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. You have a great day as well. You're welcome.